good night. Have one done tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Armin J. Spirit Divine. I'm here to give you some news on tonight. Voters, suppression package is an attack on the voting rights, of Wisconsin. Wisconsin today, he had denounced a package of bill introduced by a handful of state lawmakers. They're aiming to make it more difficult, to vote. Calling the proposal legislation a direct attack on the proposal legislation a direct attack on the voting rights. So they're about to make it hard, for people to pretty much the one I named like color people, the disability and senior citizen. They're about to make it hard um, for people to vote, making it difficult. So the bill will impose more restriction, on how voters can request and return absent. Violence will increase boundary for voters around the state, including for many people of color, people with disability, and senior citizens. Now, these proposals are based on misinformation and false exaggerated claim about mail voting in Wisconsin. So now they're about to make it hard. We need everyone to vote. That's how we got we all have voted for Obama. So we need everyone to vote. You know, um, it was what 18 years old. If you're 18 years old, you can vote. So they're about to change a whole lot of stuff and make it so hard for people to vote. We need young people to vote. Middle age, old. We need everyone to vote. The 18 years old can vote. They can continue on being 18 years old to vote. Now the new proposal will radical. After the state action, voting process by restriction, voting by mail. They can continue doing that by mail because you need disability and senior citizens have to do theirs by mail. For example, many fragile and disabled residents who are confined, to their homes will have to get verification from medical professional to so they have if they say their disability. What they're saying, they're gonna have to go to their doctor, somebody professional, to state, write something stating that their disability, in order for them to vote through mail. Certifying their statute, even though Wilkinson had allowed self certification for decades. Even though the Michigan Supreme Court found that voters had not misused, the process, and it also would prevent voters from automatically, setting bodies every election intent required. Re-application for each, election and disimposing every more. So many other voters, they will have to repeatedly provide, photo ID, such time, they require a mail absent ballots, whenever they come, wherever ballot, where they have to go to the vote, they have to keep on showing their ID, you know, uh, so if their previous had provided ID to confirm the identity, every time they go, they're gonna have to provide their ID. So the proposal will brought the Wisconsin Election Commission from sending ballots application to register, voters. Now this run continue to by posting, commission and a huge success approved in 2020. So in 2020 they had approval and they tried to do this before. So proactive mail application. Dealing with when Trump when Trump was when he was elected. we had a lot of them was doing it in the mail. So they were saying it was like 2.7 million who had registered voters for the mail. So the bill also would impose um voluntary burden on the clerk. So they were saying by they did it in mail, through the mail. They were saying the clerk was overwhelmed with all the mail, that's why they're saying it took so long for the numbers to come out, because a lot of people were just putting stuff in the mail, and it was overwhelming for the clerks. So and voters. By requiring additional paperwork for voters, who apply in person to vote as. So what I think, one, citizens should still be able to do the mail and disable. Anybody else, let them go to the place and vote. Since they're saying the clerk was overwhelmed, just only have the disability and the elders to do the mail. So the bill also seek to make it harder, not only for voters, to request ballots, but also to complete and return them. So they will prohibit clerks for assisting voters by completing, witness address information, and they would limit the location of drop boxes. There was, they're saying the clerk was so overwhelmed. So they're trying to limit the mail. But it did, someone disabled, and someone is an elder. I mean, they're gonna have to continue on doing the mail. And our young people start at 18 years old to vote. I request that they continue on vote, because we need everyone to vote. So widely popular among voters and clerk alike, they were limited to people who are prohibited to return absent ballots to immediate family and legal guardians, not even allowing a friend or neighbor or more distant. See, they're making it hard. We had so many. A couple of years ago, we had so many people was doing the mail. So they're trying to cut down on a whole lot of stuff the way they was doing. So they deliberate attempt by a handful of lawmakers, to suppress, some people voting rights. So they're trying to take some people rights. Democracy work best when citizens participate in an election, and we must attend the work to make sure every eligible voter in Wilkinson can cast a ballot. And that's what I say, we need everyone to vote. So they're making it difficult where a lot of people won't be able to vote. Suppress, prevent the development, action, or expression of restrict, to put down by authority of folks. So they have to suppress people voting rights. So other words, they're trying to ban, people on voting rights. They're trying to ban people on voting rights. So the new proposal, that was the new proposal. So now we see they're making it hard to vote. The bill will impose more restriction, including for many people of color, disabled, and senior citizen. So they suppress people voting rights. So they're banning the people on voting rights. But I request do not suppress, to stop or prohibit the population or revelation. So we have to look at that everyone have to vote. African American, all races, disabled, elders, we all have to vote. We it got too much stuff going on right now. We need everyone to vote. If you're 18 years old, we still need you to vote. So for disabled and elders, I need them to continue on mailing the mailing their files in the mail. Continue on mailing your files in the mail. I bang suppress. I bang this new proposal. I bang suppress. Where everyone will be able to vote. So they suppress the people voting rights, meaning they ban, you know, people voting rights. They're making it hard and difficult. Every time you go there, you have to, which is understandable. They have to make sure that's you, with your ID. So they're making it so hard, so they're trying to take away the mailing, you know, which is okay, but you have to let the elders and the disabled let them continue on mailing their votes. Let them continue on mailing because a lot of time they won't have family members or no one to bring them to the place. So let them continue on mailing their stuff. You saying the clerk was overwhelmed. So now we'll just be having the elders and the disabled just be mailing this stuff in the mail. Everybody else had to go to the place and vote. So um, everyone need equal rights and vote. Everyone needs to vote. They're saying like the young people. If they're 18 years old and up, they still have to vote. I still need them to vote. We need everyone to vote. So they suppress the people, voting rights. And I request do not suppress the people voting rights. Everyone needs to vote. And I also ban suppress prohibit the voting rights. You know, everyone needs to vote. And only ones who gonna be mailing is the elders and the disabled. They'll be the only one putting their voting in the mail. So that's all the news I have for you today. We were talking about the voters. You know, Wilkinson, they were suppressing for um the new package. The new proposal they came up with. And so this their new proposal making it hard and difficult for people to vote. They're trying to take away the young people, but if they're 18 years old, I need all of them to vote. You know, they're trying to take away the mailing. The way they was mailing it. I understand that, but just let the elders and the disabled continue on placing theirs in the mail. So so this their new proposal. This their new proposal. And in other words, they're banning a whole lot of voting rights. You know, so democracy works best when citizens participate in election. And we must attend it work to make sure every eligible, voters, be able to vote. To cast their ballot. We need all of them to vote. All of them to vote. So that's all the news I have for you on today, on tonight. And I see y'all on the next video. Have a blessed night.